Good afternoon, Mr. Langa.
Hi, good afternoon, CJ, and good afternoon to.
How are you, sir?
I'm okay in the circumstances, CJ.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's try and take it easy first. You hold a diploma juris, LLB, and Master of Laws degree. Am I right?
That is correct, CJ.
What did your master's program entail?
It was a course curriculum, CJ.
Sorry, sir. Carry on.
It was only mainly on constitutional law.
With or without a dissertation?
There was no dissertation. It was coursework.
And you did it through UNISA?
Yes, that's correct, CJ.
I often get it wrong with my calculation of years, but in my attempt to get the number of years over which you've been a magistrate at all levels, I get 38 years. Am I right or mistaken?
I think that is correct, CJ.
And you have acted as a judge.
That's correct, CJ.
For how long?
I did not count it in weeks. I've had other people counting it in weeks. But when I counted in terms, it's 13 terms, 1-3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you find it to be a smooth and comfortable transition from regional court magistrate to acting judge of the High Court? Or were there some challenges, but not quite serious?
Well, it was certainly not a smooth sailing. It was a very, very, it has been a challenging task, and it still is, because you are called upon every time you touch a case to dig very, very deep. So it's a work that is demanding. I can put it that way.
Just so that you take this off the way before questions are put to you. You have indicated that you were an ordinary member of the ANC from 1998 to 2006. Is that a true reflection of what happened?
Yes, intermittently, Chief Justice.
Yeah, and I want to afford you the opportunity to explain yourself here, because you were already a judicial officer. 1998 to 2006. Is it fair to assume that you didn't realize that you couldn't be a judicial officer and a member of a political party at the same time?
Yes, by the statement that I was a member, as I say, it was intermittent. I knew, but I was not an active member, but only had a live or active membership for those periods.
You had a card, a membership card, or you were not a member in good standing?
No, I did not have a membership card. Maybe I was not a member in good standing in that sense, but I was not an active member, as I've said.
Okay, all right. JP, or before I go to you, JP, colleagues, let me have the names of those who want to put questions to the regional court president.
Lucas.
Singh.
Maya.
JP Mlambo.
Dodovu.
Thank you. JP?
Thank you, CJ. Acting Judge Langa, by the way, where is home?
That's a very dicey question, JP. My home is currently in the Western Cape. That is where I stay with my family. But home, as I understand it, or as I understand your question, is Mokopane, in what used to be called Potgietersrus Res. That's where I was born, and that's where I grew up and went to school.
I want you to talk to us about courage and the beauty of dispensing justice in rural areas. And those who know better put it this way: we need men and women of courage, character, and accomplishment. A single woman or a single man of courage makes the majority. Now, I want to take you back to 1989. It is something which I call midnight in Bushbuck Ridge, 26 October 1989. Young boys and girls were arrested and assaulted brutally by the soldiers and the police when they were in a truck going to deliver a memorandum at a police station on access to water and other facilities. Those young boys and girls appear before you round about 1 o'clock midnight on 26 October 1989, and they applied bail. They applied for bail. You granted bail. Almost all of them showed clear sign of fresh wounds, and some of them had broken arms. Midnight, Bushbuck Ridge. You can see here is a broken arm of one of those youngsters. Now, you must have known that the police were going to be very angry with you. And in fact, that morning, you were apparently approached in your office, confronted by the police, questioning you. Why did you release these people? Because they were going to be exposed. Where did you get the courage to do that? And what is the importance of being courageous as a judicial officer?
Thank you, JP. I think in that situation, I had to follow my conscience and the law. And despite the fact that I knew that it was going to be a controversial decision as far as the state and the police were concerned, it was, in my view, the right thing to do because the circumstances of the case called for the release of the accused on bail, particularly because most of them, as you correctly put it, had been severely injured. But over and above that, there was no reason not to release the accused on bail because the state did not put up a good case for the denial of the bail of the accused. So it's something that I did out of my obeyance of my conscience, but also in what I thought was the correct application of the law.
You have acted in the Western Cape Division of the High Court. You are presently acting in the Mpumalanga Division of the High Court. And as you are aware, most of our judicial officers in the lower courts are exposed to criminal work and not necessarily civil work. During your acting stints, did you have the opportunity to deal with matters beyond just criminal work?
Yes, thank you, JP. Yes, in the Western Cape, when I was given the opportunity to cut my teeth in the High Court, I actually spoke to the JP and made a request that I be, as far as possible, be kept in the civil court. The main reason being that I was coming from a criminal court, having been in the regional court for a long time, where the majority, or if not all the cases, were criminal. So in the Western Cape, I can count by not more than 5 fingers the number of criminal cases that I did there. Most of the work was civil, both trials as well as motion, including urgent court, or what they call in the Western Cape the 3rd Division.
You also had the opportunity to deal not necessarily with criminal matters in the Mpumalanga division, am I right?
That is correct.
And the only reason why you have been put on the criminal roll now is because of the backlog, amongst others occasioned by the COVID-19 pandemic, and also the fact that there has been a backlog, and because of your expertise, you have been placed to deal with these criminal matters, to deal with the backlog, am I right?
That is correct, JP.
Now, of those judgments that you're talking about in relation to the civil work, more or less, how many judgments did you write?
I have not done an actual count of cases, but in the Western Cape alone, for the period starting June 2017 until September 2018, I could have produced and written and handed down not less than 200 cases, civil cases.
Some of those matters, were they taken on appeal? And if so, what was the outcome, if you know?
Some of them, yes, have been taken on appeal. But as far as I know, only one was set aside in the SCA.
By virtue of the background that you have mostly been dealing with the criminal matters, do you think you are ready to be appointed on permanent basis and be a rounder, so to put it?
Yes, JP, I think if I did not believe that I was ready, I would not have been here. I believe that I am ready, I am prepared, and if appointed, I will be in a position to run with and to run with the work and discharge my duties as could be expected of a judge. But not only that, not only in terms of knowledge, but also in terms of my what I bring as a person to this position. Even if I have to say it myself, I believe that I am a person of with the necessary temperament, and as you probably know, I am very, very diplomatic in the manner in which I deal with people and issues, without necessarily allowing things to get out of hand. I was thrown into the deep end when I was appointed as the regional court president in the Western Cape, which I can only describe as as a hostile terrain. But I managed over the years to convince people, even people who thought that I'm not the right person, whether based on the fact that I was from outside or other things. But in the end, I enjoyed the support of even the people who initially had doubts about me and did not believe in me. So I think I've got as a person, I think I'm the right fit for a job like this one, which demands a lot in terms of your personality and how you deal with issues, how you deal with people, how you address people, how you call people to order, the manner in which you do it, the civility with which you do it, the respect with which you deal with people. So I think apart from the knowledge of the law and the application thereof, I think I'm the right person in terms of my temperament and personality. And over and above that, I'm also a person who is not averse to advice or even criticism, which I think can be a very bad quality if you don't have. Thank you.
CJ, thank you so much, and I'm sorry for wasting the time.
Thank you very much, Judge President.
Can I just make a follow-up, CJ?
Is that you?
Muimang,
Yes, Honorable Moimang.
I was attracted to the point that Justice made when he said he was able to adapt, though the environment was very hostile. So I just want to get clarity around the hostility of the environment. Was the hostility within the judiciary or outside the judiciary? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. The hostility that I was referring to in this instance was the hostility from within. I mean, if you are a person coming from Mokopane, and by the way, when I went to the Western Cape, I came directly from Mpumalanga, where I had lived for 16 years. So I was regarded as an outsider. I was also regarded as inexperienced because I was appointed as regional court president when there were other people who had been in the regional division for over 15 years before I came. So that's the kind of hostility that I'm referring to, not necessarily on the social front, even though, as we know, every place has got its own dynamics, and so does the Western Cape in terms of how people relate to one another.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Honorable Moimang.
Chief Justice, can I have a follow-up as well?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Chief Justice, and good afternoon, Mr. Langa.
Good afternoon, Commissioner Odonsela.
Did you preside in that bail application in 1989?
I beg your pardon?
In that bail application in 1989, which bail application of the young youth.
Yes, I actually presided in the bail application, and that is the reason why the police actually threatened me and came to confront me about the release of the accused.
When you presided in that bail application, were you an ANC member?
At that time,
Yeah, I'm talking about that time because I find it quite uncomfortable to say the list that you preside in an ANC sponsored
No,
uprising
no, I was-
as an ANC member.
I was not a member.
When did you become a member then?
I think in the late 90s, 1997, 1998.
Oh, yeah, I thought that the incident occurred in 1989.
Yes, 89.
So that predates the time that you presided.
That's right.
So obviously you would have been an ANC member when you presided.
No, no, Honorable Madon.
It's the other way around.
In 1990.
Chief Justice, you are not audible, but I've given
I was saying he became a member, the regional court president became a member only in 1998. It was from 1998 to 2006.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
CJ,
Yes, sir. Is it a follow-up?
yes, it's a follow-up, CJ.
Okay, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Langa.
Good afternoon, Commissioners Gogo.
Did I not hear you saying you never were an ANC card-carrying member?
Yes.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you, Mr. Langa.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Premier.
Thank you very much, CJ, and good afternoon, Mr. Langa.
Good afternoon, Premier.
Just one question from me. Is there any complaint that has been laid against you by any legal society? If so, what was it all about, and do you think it has merits?
No, there is none, Commissioner.
Thank you very much, CJ, and thanks to you, Mr. Langa.
Thank you very much, Premier. Honorable Lucas.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice. Good afternoon, Mr. Langa.
Good afternoon,
I've
Commissioner
seen-
Lucas.
I've seen in a way from your profile, you've been presiding over gender forums and you've been quite involved with gender issues. But just in your own words, what do you see as gender equality and as a transformation of the judiciary with regards to women?
I think, Commissioner Lucas, gender equality means just that, the equality in terms of gender. But in our situation, where we come from, we know that women have been discriminated against on many fronts and in many respects. And we also know that it is one of the imperatives of our constitution that efforts should be made to redress women in terms of putting them where they are supposed to be. And in our setup in the judiciary, that means an extra effort has to be made to ensure that females get recognized and get appointed to the bench. I just want to perhaps give you the example of my scenario in the Western Cape. When I arrived in the Western Cape Regional Division in 2004, we had only 2 female regional magistrates. In 2014, I mean, black as in African regional magistrates, and 5 white regional magistrates. And in 2014, when I took over, after I was appointed, we had 4 African female regional magistrates. And over the years, since taking over, a deliberate effort was made to advance the cause of females in terms of appointment to the regional court bench. And I can safely say that for me, it was a mission accomplished, because over this period until last year, we have had 13 African females appointed to the regional court division in the Western Cape, and 1 Indian. So in terms of advancing the cause of women, and in terms of equality, my understanding is that it means that we have to do exactly that, try and advance and make sure that women get appointed in these positions.
Thank you, Mr. Langa. Just the next question that I want to ask you in this regard. One of the candidates today said that many men pay lip service to the issue of gender equality and the empowerment and transformation of the judiciary with regards to women. I'm mentioning it now because according to what I've seen, and you might clarify it to us, most of the objections that came against your appointment came from women that felt that they were not treated correctly by yourself. How do you actually explain that?
Yeah, well, I think that is self-explained by the nature of the complaints. If you look at the complaints, they are complaints which are based on the decisions which I had taken as the regional court president. So that's how I understand it. It's just a pity that it had to be females who complained to the JSC, but the nature of the complaint, the content of the complaint tells you what it's all about. It's all about the decisions which I took in execution of my judicial functions.
If I might follow up, CJ, I understand what you are saying, but
Yes, Honorable Lucas.
what is your personal attitude with regards to that?
I beg your
And
pardon?
what is your personal attitude with regards thereto? And how do you redeem yourself in the eyes of women that have a negative attitude towards you?
I've gone through fire, Commissioner Lucas, in terms of dealing with people not happy about decisions which I make. So this is no different because I know that in my position, I cannot afford to take it personally. I deal with the issue and it ends there. So it's not that they are enemies to me. I regard them as regional magistrates falling under my supervision, and I've got no personal issues with them. And that's how I deal with issues, and that's the way it is.
Thank you, Mr. Langa. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Honorable Lucas. Honorable Singh.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice, and good afternoon to you, Acting Judge Langa.
Good afternoon, Commissioner.
Good afternoon. I just want to follow up on Commissioner Lucas, because we have these documents sent to us, and in as much as you in your response you may want to treat these complaints lightly, from what I read, the voluminous documents with supporting documents Both these regional court magistrates have referred the matter to the JSC. I don't know if you are aware if any inquiry has been held as yet, or is there going to be an inquiry in this regard? Because, you know, from the face of it, you know, I treat this as a commissioner as quite serious complaints against you. And if I may just quote one of the complainants, it says, "I have suffered extreme levels of unfair treatment, verbal and psychological abuse, clear acts of conduct of favoritism at my expense, abuse of power and gender-based discrimination in Mr. Langa's hands. This all culminated in severe depression, which resulted in my hospitalization on 2 separate instances for depression management and medication." And just an extract from the other complainant: "In light of the information contained in the attached correspondence, I submit that a formal inquiry or investigation as regards him being fit and proper to be part of the judiciary should be inevitable." Now, can you just go more into these complaints, the nature of the complaints? Because, you know, we're hearing your side of the story. We have this written evidence before us. And do you think it should be dismissed, just dismissed by the commission? Sure.
Well, Commissioner Singh, I was under the impression that the commission has got my responses to these complaints, where I, in detail, give my side of the story.
Can you give it to us briefly?
It would appear that you perhaps have not seen my response.
No, I have seen your response, but I think for the benefit of the others and for the recording, if you could briefly tell us the circumstances from your point of view.
I'm not sure whether I'm allowed to refer to the complainants by name, or should I?
I think just deal with the issue. Deal with the issue, sir. They may not be willing to have their name mentioned in public, even if this is public information. Just deal with the issues.
I didn't follow that, CJ. There's a network break.
I was saying, if you're able to just deal with the issues without mentioning names, unless it's unavoidable.
No. I also preferred not to mention their names, as the commission has all the details and the names of the 2 complainants. But with regard to the first complaint that Mr. Singh read, I can assure you that there is absolutely no merit in that complaint. I have explained in my response that it was the first time that I heard that the regional magistrate in question had an issue with me, or was aggrieved by me, or was of the view that mental health issues were attributable to me. And in fact, in that case, in the case of that complaint, there was not even any report made to the Magistrates Commission, which, as you know, is the body responsible for dealing with complaints. There was just nothing done until the JSC announced the shortlisting. That's when I saw the objection, when it was referred to me by the JSC. But as far as I was concerned, things were just normal between us. But I just want to draw your attention as commissioners to the fact that as I explained in my response, the regional magistrate in question, as we speak, cannot even survive in the court that she's working. In other words, she is finding it difficult to work in her court because she is almost having a difference with everyone. And I'm talking about colleagues and other stakeholders, prosecutors, the people from the administration and so on. So for me, it is a question of, it's a personality issue that is making it impossible for her to have good relations with other people. But the strange thing is I've not ever received from her any inclination that she could be having such a deep-seated complaint. But all I can say is that it is without merit, and I say that boldly without any fear of contradiction, that it is just a figment of her imagination. I've got currently more than 50 people who are working under my supervision, and I hardly ever have this kind of problems. So I can assure you that that information is completely wrong. The complaint is not based on any fact. And if I must add, it is also evident from some of the attachments that I've made that the person in question, the regional magistrate in question, had health issues, mental health issues, even before she joined the regional division of the Western Cape. So that is just not correct. The second one, you asked, or rather, in respect of the second complaint, let me rather put it in this way. It was referred to the Magistrates Commission, and the Magistrates Commission decided that there was no merit in the complaint. Even though it's difficult to even deal with the complaint as was sent to the JSC, because I found it very difficult to make head or tail out of it, because it's a whole lot of things and issues which have been referred to you without any succinct explanation of what the nature or the basis of the complaint is. So, yeah, that's my response on that one, Mr. Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Langa. It's just one quick follow-up, and then I've ended. Do you not believe that in terms of the Audi principle, one should give you and the complainants an opportunity to have your side of the story said in a formal inquiry, so that this can clear you once and for all? Otherwise, whenever you have to apply for whatever position, even after this, there will always be this exchange of correspondence.
Well, as I say, with regard to the second complaint, this was referred to the Magistrates Commission, which dealt with it and made its decision. Because in effect, it was a complaint about things that do not have anything to, or rather that cannot be said to be within my competence. If we are talking about, for example, air conditioners, we're talking about a building which is not suitable, we're talking about infrastructure. Those are unfortunately issues which fall outside of my competence. I cannot do anything about it except to approach the functionaries in question or the ministry, which is now led by Commissioner Lamula, for assistance. But it's basically issues that as the head of court, I cannot do anything about because as you know, I'm responsible for the judicial functions mainly, as well as training and mentoring of judicial officers. So that issue has been dealt with and closed by the Magistrates Commission, not by me. So if there is to be any action, the person in the, or the regional magistrate in the first complaint knows exactly how the process works because she has had several complaints in respect of other people, colleagues, and so on, which she referred to the Magistrates Commission. So it's not a case of a person who does not know how to get help and redress if she has a grievance. But this one, I can assure you that it was just not referred to the Magistrates Commission. And if she was having a genuine complaint, I think she would have referred this matter to the Magistrates Commission. But this I regard as just a way of trying to foil my chances of getting a fair hearing at this body from the timing and the manner in which it was done. So it's not up to me to decide on what action to be taken, but it's up to the complainant to approach the relevant body, which she clearly knows. And I do not feel that there is anything hanging over me, Mr. Singh, because I know that I have not, I'm not in the wrong. And yeah, that's the way I see it.
Thank you, Mr. Langa. Thank you, Chief Justice.
Follow up, Chief Justice. Follow up, Chief Justice.
That you are Commissioner Matolo Zepu.
Okay. Acting Judge Lang, don't you think, I'm just following up on the first complaint. The second one, you said it was dealt with by the Magistrates Commission, because this thing will keep on cropping up. Shouldn't we be reporting it to the Magistrate Commission yourself? At least they must deal with it and clear you.
No, in fact, as I was saying, my point, Commissioner Lepu, was that the complainant there did not refer it to the Magistrates Commission as a complaint. The reason why we have this complaint is because I referred her situation to the Magistrates Commission as a result of her continued absenteeism. And as you can see from my correspondence, or rather from my response, there were even complaints from lawyers and the community with regard to the unavailability of the magistrate in question. So the matter is now, as we speak, in the hands of the Magistrates Commission at my request, but essentially to look at her fitness to continue in office because of her health. So in that sense, yes, the matter is before the Magistrates Commission, but my response to Commissioner Singh was that there has not been any complaint laid by the regional magistrate in question. But the matter is currently with the Magistrates Commission, which is dealing with a fitness to continue on account of her health and the frequent, and I must say very, very long periods of absenteeism from work, which prompted me to refer the matter to the commission because, as you know, it is the only body that can deal with issues like that.
Thank you. I think that's what the missing link that you needed to fill in. Thank you.
No, I understand now what could have been missed, but it's part of the response that I've made to the commission. But thank you for clarifying that, Commissioner Lepo.
Commissioner Lepus, while you are there, I think put the question that you had listed yourself for, so that you don't have to come back again.
No, thank you, CJ. I think I'm covered by Commissioner Lucas and the clarity that I got now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. President?
Thank you, Chief Justice. I'm largely covered by the questions put by the last three commissioners about the complaint lodged by the objections lodged by the two women regional magistrates. But I'm still a bit confused about some of the issues. First, I've not seen the decisions of the magistrates court, which you say dismissed the complaints of the two women. Secondly, earlier you said in respect of the regional magistrate who ended up in hospital that there was no complaint from her until the JSC shortlist surfaced, but she submitted a chain of correspondence between her, you, and some of, I won't name names, two male officials, senior male officials in your office, and then her complaint to the magistrates court, which predated your application for this vacancy.
I'm sorry, Justice Maya, I'm missing some of what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me just, because these are records of public record. I'm saying you said she had not complained at all until you were shortlisted for I'm paraphrasing, you were shortlisted for this vacancy. But I'm saying to you, in this long, this large record that she sent as a complaint, she included a chain of correspondence between her, a Mr. Lekuleni and Mr. Lowe, and you were copied in all that correspondence, and then her complaint to the Magistrates Commission, and all these predated your application for this position. So that would make a lie of your explanation that she had knew nothing at all about her situation, her unhappiness until you were shortlisted for this vacancy. Then I was also saying that I've not seen any document from the Magistrates Commission as well dealing with anything they may have said about you to the Magistrates Commission. You want me to give you a chance to respond to the first one?
Unfortunately, it's not very clear. I missed some of the things you're saying. If I understand you correctly, you are saying that, are you referring to the regional magistrate who complains about
the woman who ended up in hospital twice, who incidentally says she was quite healthy when she started in Mitchell's Plain, was hardworking and got kudos until she started being frustrated by various things, including, and then finally she was getting death threats and her car tires were slashed and she was not getting any support from the office. So some of the complaints are actually personal. It's not just complaints about poor building infrastructure. It's things that happened and decisions that you took pertaining to problem that this one in particular, says she was facing.
Yes, maybe I said it in a manner that did not come out clear to you. But what I was referring to as the complaint which relates to infrastructure and so on is the complaint which actually went to the Magistrates Commission and was dealt with by the Magistrates Commission, and not the one relating to the regional magistrate who ended up in hospital and who is under medical care.
Okay, let's take it this bite size. About the other one who has mental health issues, she says her last correspondence dated 6 March 2020 in this pack mentions that she actually complained to the Magistrates Commission and was still awaiting their decision. She lodged a complaint against you, saying all these things that were raised by Commissioners Lucas and Singh.
No, that is not correct. I have never received any notice of that complaint. In fact, as far as I know, she did not make or rather lodge any complaint with the Magistrates Commission, because otherwise I would have been informed, and I would have even attached it if that was the case.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
point is that
she does say that lastly, I forwarded my complaints to the Magistrates Commission in 2018 already. I'm still waiting for their decision. And then she refers to correspondence with Mr. Lowe of the Magistrates Commission in Annex 13, but it's just voluminous. I've seen that document to which she refers. Can't find it now. So are you saying it's not true that she complained to the Magistrates Commission? She's lying in this letter?
No, she did not lodge a complaint against me. I think the only thing perhaps she's referring to by complaint is the complaint about her health and wanting to move from one place to another. And the commission, I think in their correspondence with asked her as to whether she wanted a transfer or not. But there was never a formal complaint lodged against me. It was just a complaint to the commission about health issues. I don't have the documents that you are referring to with me here, but I can certainly say that no complaint was lodged by the complainant who had the health issues.
Then I have a problem, because these documents were made available to us by the commission, and I would imagine that they would have sent them to you as well. But be that as it may, about the other regional magistrate, she also wrote that she had lodged a complaint to the Magistrates Commission and was also still waiting, but that was in 2018. She was still waiting for the commission to decide, and she was not happy about it. And the impression one got from what she was saying is that maybe the Magistrates Commission was protecting you. Look, it's my impression, but it's what I glean from what she says. So did she lodge a complaint against you?
Well, yes,
or not?
the second one did. And as I said, the Magistrates Commission dealt with the complaint, and they after
dismissed it.
Yes, they dismissed it. After which she actually complained to the Office of the Chief Justice, to the Public Protector, about about the decision of the Magistrates Commission. That's how I know it. But the other colleague did not lodge any complaint against me.
Well, unfortunately, that decision of the Magistrates Commission dismissing that complaint was, well, I have not seen it. And I want to believe that I went carefully through these documents. So no, it's not before us. Do you have it?
Yes.
Now?
Well, no, not
right.
now, but
you have it somewhere?
Yeah, I can have it today. I can ask my office to send it to you, but that's the position. A matter was dealt with by the commission, and the commission decided that there was no merit in the complaint.
Yeah. it is a messy situation, Mr. Langa, unfortunately. And speaking for myself, I'm still not satisfied because I think, especially now that you say there are some documents from one or both these ladies to which your answer would not address, then it leaves some of the issues hanging, which is far from ideal. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much.
Follow up, CJ.
Yes, Honorable Malema.
Mr. Langa, were you aware of these allegations when you came in?
Which allegations? The
The
two
one that-
complaints.
Yes.
Yes, they were actually sent to this body.
And in preparation of this, did you see any response from the Magistrate Commission?
In the papers.
So when there is an objection about you, or when you come here, there are all types of correspondences from legal bodies and magistracy and all of that. When you are preparing to come here, did you see any magistrate commission writing anything to us in relation to this matter?
No.
Since this allegation or this objection against you, and you've got correspondence from Magistrate Commission speaking to exactly what is being complained about here, why didn't you bother to bring along with you those documents from Magistrate Commission clearing? Because you say you've got them in your office.
As far as I recall, in the papers which the complainant in the second matter submitted, there was part of it was the Magistrates Commission's decision I'm referring to.
In the letter that we were sent here.
In the many emails and letters which he sent, I think it's about 261 pages long. There was a letter which was from the Magistrates Commission, the one I'm referring to, where the Magistrates Commission informs her that there is no merit in the complaint and it is therefore closed. It's part
So
of
she
her
said-
own documents.
Did she, yes, because we send you those things, did she attach that, did we attach that to you when we're making you aware of this objection?
Yes,
It came from us,
yes, it's part of her own documents.
which we sent to you,
Yes,
of a magistrate letter saying this complaint is dismissed.
the Magistrates Commission,
Yeah, commission
Yes,
saying this complaint is dismissed.
that is correct.
Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, Honorable Malema. JP Mlambo.
Thank you, Chief Justice. I wanted to ask the candidate about his exposure to civil work, and that's been covered by previous questions. So I pass. Thank you, CJ.
Thank you, sir. Honorable Dodovu.
No, I also pass CJ. The questions that I wanted to ask were extensively traversed. Thanks.
Thank you very much, sir. You are excused, Acting Judge Langa.
Jay, before
Oh.
that, with your permission,
Yes, sir.
just need clarity. Judge Langa, the complaint relating to the other magistrate who is having health problems. Did I understand you to say she did write to the Magistrates Commission?
She did not complain as she did to this commission.
Yes.
But what is with the commission, the Magistrates Commission, is what I refer to them as a result of absenteeism from work, continued absenteeism due to ill health.
Did she at any stage write to the Magistrates Commission?
No.
So the first time that she lodged a formal complaint is here.
Yes, the complaint that the JSC is having is the first time I heard about her grievance and that particular grievance or any grievance against me for that matter.
And it looks like the crux of the complaint is that you caused her mental trauma.
That is what she alleges I caused her.
I see you had attached some medical reports, am I right, in
Yes.
relation to that?
Yes, JP, I attached medical records which she made available to my office because obviously as the manager, I would from time to time ask her for medical reports, and some of the reports included even reports which relate to the period before she joined the regional division in the Western Cape.
And the essence of the reports is that she had some sort of depression, and if I understand you correctly, it was before she even came to your regional division.
Well, that's how I understand it, and that's how she actually confided in me about that when during the time that she was, or rather I was dealing with her problems, and in particular the absenteeism, as I state in my response to the commission.
The issue has been raised by the president to say this appears to be a problem, and if I understood her correctly, is that perhaps it will be improper for the commission, say for example, to recommend you for appointment before the issue is settled by the appropriate body. Is there anything that you can do if she has not lodged a formal complaint with the Mistress Commission?
No, JP, there is absolutely nothing I can do because she has to lodge a complaint like she did with this commission. She has the power to decide to refer the matter to the Magistrates Commission if she is aggrieved by an action taken by a fellow magistrate or the regional court president. But there has not been any complaint, and in fact, as could be seen from my application, I also attached the certificate of good conduct from the Magistrates Commission.
And if you were to be overlooked on the basis of what she has written to this commission, she may as well thereafter not do anything because the horse would have bolted, am I right?
Well, that's, I think what will probably happen, but so far nothing has happened. She has not approached the Magistrates Commission. This is the only complaint that is on record with regard to the issues she's raising to this commission. It was never referred to the Magistrates Commission. And as things stand, there's just no record of this complaint anyway.
And did I understand you correctly to say it is not because she does not know what process she needs to follow? In other words, it's not that she does not know that if she has a serious complaint about you or a concern about you, she would have lodged that complaint with the appropriate body, the Mistress Commission. Am I right?
Absolutely. She's well aware of the procedures which magistrates and other people follow if there is a complaint against a fellow magistrate or by a fellow magistrate or even a member of the public. She's well aware of that because she has a complaint to the Magistrates Commission before about other people. So it's not as if she did not know the procedure to be followed.
Thank you, CJ.
Chief Justice, may I have a quick follow-up?
Just follow up, Chief Justice.
Yes, yes, Honorable Singh.
Yeah, Chief Justice, just to make the comment that we're talking about a person who is not here and what she would have done and what she would not have done. I think we are looking at this matter on the facts before us. And that's all I wanted to say to the Judge President. Thank you.
Thank you. Was it you,
CJ,
Commissioner Madonsela?
And Mwimang also, Chief
And
Justice.
Sigogo, CJ.
Let me
and
just
Maya,
make sure.
as a follow-up, CJ.
So it wasn't Advocate Madonsela SC, it wasn't here.
No, it was not me. Justice said I've not asked to speak. The matter is closed.
I thought it was, but it doesn't look like it.
I think the matters which are raised by commissioners led to our deliberations more than anything else.
I thought so, but it is well. Commissioner Sigogo?
Thank you, CJ. Mr. Lang, President Maya indicated that somewhere in the complaint, it is indicated that she reported to the Magistrate Commission. On page 3 of the complaint, the following is written. Lastly, I forwarded my complaints to the Magistrates Commission in 2018 already. I am still waiting for their decision. In brackets, see last correspondence with Mr. Lowe of the Magistrate Commission, Annexure 13. Let's go to Annexure 13. Annexure 13 it starts with the letter from her to Mr. Lowe. But I want you to listen to the subject matter of Annexure 13. It says, complaints against yourself regarding your absence from office, and it gives file number. So I want you have indicated that there was no complaint against you, but there was a complaint from you or from the office regarding her absence and her from office. So I want you to confirm if indeed the complaint that she's talking about that she has referred to in her complaint or in her objection against you is not in respect of a complaint against you, but it is in respect of a complaint in respect of her absence from office.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner Skogo. I think you have captured it correctly. I may have not unpacked it as you did, but that is the essence of it. What she's complaining about is that the complaint that she's referring to is the complaint, is the report from my office to the Magistrates Commission about her absence or continued absence from work. But she has never lodged a complaint against me or the acting regional court president, because I think even at that time, I was in the High Court acting when in 2018, the dates that she's referring to.
Thank you, CJ.
Chief Justice, it's JP Mlambo here.
Thank you, sir. Should I add you, my brother? You come after two other commissioners, that's Honorable Malema and President Maya. Should I add you, sir?
I'm not on the list.
It's Mwimang, Chief
I've
Justice.
accepted that you have closed the matter.
Yeah, I honestly thought we had closed the matter, colleagues. you really have to be desperate to put a question, given the responsibilities we still have, and that it's not a deliberations issue. Okay, Honorable Moimang, it was you.
CJ,
Yes.
you may remove my name. When I spoke up, I was going to point out what Commissioner Skoko has just referred to.
Thank you very much, Double President. Honorable Moimang.
Thank you, Chief Justice. Just on the clarity on the Magistrate Commission letter that the candidate referred to. The letter which is on, I think it's bundle book 2 of 3, the last paragraph. I think it will be important for the candidate just to clarify that point, because it says that the commission resolves to retract the resolution of the Grievance and Service Conditions Committee and to let the matter stand over to the next meeting to await the finalization of the preliminary report by the Ethics Committee in order to prevent any duplication. So I just want to check it to ascertain as to whether did the Ethics Committee finally present the report to the Magistrate Commission, because in this last paragraph of the letter from the Magistrate Commission that is dated the 14th of November 2017, it is quite clear that there were two committees that were dealing with the matter. The first one is the Ethics Committee and the second one is the Grievance and Service Conditions Committee. So it says that the matter was that the commission resolved to retract the matter from the Grievance and Service Conditions Committee and hand it over to the Ethics Committee so that duplication is avoided. So you can just clarify the commission as to whether did the Ethics Committee finally present the report to the commission, and did you receive any feedback on this matter? Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Commissioner. That letter, I don't have it here, but from what you're saying, that relates to the other complaint. It is not the complaint in respect of the magistrate with health issues, if I'm correct.
That is correct. It's objection 2, not
Yes,
the first
yes.
one. Yes.
Okay. Yes, that is in relation to objection 2. The matter was indeed referred to the Magistrates Commission, and as you can see from my response to objection 2, I also refer to that and indicate that the Commission has taken its decision after the report from the Ethics Committee not to take any action against the regional magistrate in question without providing any reasons therefore. And the report or complaint which had been referred to the Magistrates Commission was in respect of that complaint, the absence of the regional magistrate who decided that she was not going to work in a temporary facility for over a year and 2 months. That's the complaint that letter refers to. So yes, the Ethics Committee dealt with it and decided that they were not going to take any action despite the recommendation by the investigator who was enjoined by the Commission to investigate, who recommended that at least a disciplinary inquiry should be held.
Thank you, Mr. Langa. Thank you, Chief Justice. I'm cleared now.
Thank you, sir. You're excused, Acting Judge Langa.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice, and thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir.